Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. The Nigerian government has formally opened a new railway line linking the capital Abuja with the northern city of Kaduna. President Muhammad Buhari commissioned the project on Tuesday and also rode on the train to officially open the service to the public. While speaking at the train's main station in Abuja, he said plans were being made to link all states and commercial centers in the country with rail lines. He said the new rail line, which was also affordable, would serve as a major incentive for industrialization and employment. The rail project spans 4 administrations, which is the Olusegun Obasanjo administration, the Musa Yar'Adua administration, the Goodluck Jonathan administration, and the President Muhammad Buhari administration. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai has warned members of the Niger Delta Avengers to embrace the peace talks suggested by the Nigerian government or face the full wrath of the Nigerian army. President Muhammad Buhari had last week said his administration was currently in talks with Niger Delta militants through oil companies and law enforcement agencies to find a lasting solution to the insecurity in the region. However, the Avengers, in a separate statement, denied engaging in any peace talks. Now, Buratai, who spoke through Major General Ibrahim Atahiru, who is the General Officer commanding 82 Division of the Nigerian Army in Enugu State, said the federal government was still committed to dialogue, but could resort to other means if dialogue failed. The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Mike Kanti Baro, says the country records as much as 3,000 vandalism incidents yearly. Speaking at a press conference, Baro said vandalism has caused the country several problems, such as power outages and fuel scarcity.
Standard cubic feet of gas per day to below 700 million standard cubic per day, resulting to significant power outage exposure of between 2.5 gigawatt and 3,000 megawatt as a result of direct and indirect impact. Petroleum product supply and distribution pipelines have also suffered huge product losses with attendant costs of repair and loss of revenue. For example, over 3,000 vandalism incidents were recorded on a yearly basis between 2010 and 2015. In 2015 alone, pipeline losses of PMS, that's the premium motor spirit, popularly petrol, volume of over 643 million liters, valued at over 51.3 billion naira, was incurred. From January to May this year, almost 1,447 incidents of vandalism have been recorded, resulting to a loss of 109 million liters of petroleum products and 560,000 barrels of crude oil to refineries.
The Nigerian Army says it has rescued the abducted wife of the Emir of Bama after over 2 years in captivity. Bama is a town in Borno State, northeast Nigeria, which was overrun by the Boko Haram insurgents in 2014. The Emir's wife was kidnapped in September 2014 with 2 of her kids, a teenage boy and his baby sister. The army handed over the rescued woman to the Emir of Bama, who is Kairi Umar Ibn El-Kanemi, in a private family ceremony. The Borno State Deputy Governor Usman Dukawa and wife of Governor Kashim Shettima Nana were also there to witness the presentation. Nigerians living overseas are celebrating an annual event tagged the Nigerian Diaspora Day. The event, which began in 2015, is organized to celebrate, mobilize and engage Nigerians living outside the country to commit and support development activities in the country. The theme for this year's event is harnessing the potentials of the diaspora for national development. Speaking at the event, Vice President Yemi Oshibajo who was represented by his special advisor on economic matters, Oluyemi Digbo-Olu, commended the Nigerians in diaspora for the inflow of over $21 billion into the country in 2015. Other speakers at the event are Geoffrey Onyema, who is Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Kemi Adeosun, who is the Finance Minister, and Ambassador Joe Keshi, who was the keynote speaker.
I want to challenge our diaspora not to see Nigeria from the perspective of outsiders or merely as critical onlookers. I want to urge the many top-flying Nigerians who continue to dazzle the world with their talents and gifts, that if they ever look forward to an opportunity to selflessly pitch in and support our nation, there is no better time than now.
I believe that the engagement of the diaspora should be deepened, it should be direct, and it should be continuous. The federal government and the states should continue to strive to ensure that a more conducive environment is created in this country that will enable the diaspora, not only the diaspora, but every Nigerian, to have the confidence to be able to do things in this country. So while some of us say the environment is not conducive, some others who have something to do and who want to make money from this country are coming to this country. Diaspora, come to this country.
A lot of Nigerians in the diaspora that have gained a lot of skills that will be useful to this country. Of course, it's difficult to just get up and come back to the country. It's, tremendous risk. And so they need to be sure that they're coming back to something viable and sustainable. So what we are, looking to do is to make it easier for Nigerians in the diaspora to be able to make that decision about coming home, and not coming home, in a vacuum and not knowing, what they could be doing, but having already organized something. In part of our process of documenting, all the Nigerians in the diaspora out there, to also make it possible for, as I said, for them to upload their details, indicate the areas in which they might want to work, and we seek, as an interface, to match them to where those skill sets will be most valuable, whether it's in government, public service, or in the private sector.
Enter any flight to Nigeria. Look around you at how many non-Nigerians are flooding into Nigeria to take advantage of opportunities here in Nigeria, and they're making money. And Nigerians want everything de-risked. We don't want to take a risk. You've got to take a risk. Where I stay, if you look, get on the plane and look around you. Look around you and see different people from different countries coming into Nigeria to make money. So we've got to find a way to manage the risks. And there are risks. They find a way to manage the risks and they make money. So come in, there's opportunity in Nigeria. It's such a blessed country. Everything can be done, but we have to find a way, and it's still back to those values. If we rebuild those values, the opportunities abound. All the foreigners that are coming in here to Nigeria, believe me, most of them come in with nothing. By the time they're leaving, they're millionaires at our expense. So we need to also play our part. The foreign exchange depreciation is a normal thing. I was in London last week. I used to change dollars. I used to get 1.6. It's now 1.3. And the British aren't panicking. And the British are not saying, I'm not going to invest in London because the pound has fallen. As the pound is falling, or as the naira is falling, other opportunities are coming up. So I just want to urge you to please bring everything you have. But the most important thing you can bring is your self-belief and your belief in Nigeria. Because if you don't believe in the country, you may as well give your money. Whether it's 20 billion or 200 billion, it's of no value. What we need is belief and confidence in ourselves. And I believe we can do it. And I believe you are the people that have the ideas, you have the technology, you have the exposure. Some of you now have the time. Some of you are comfortable. That mortgage is paid off. Come back. Come back and serve.
The embattled Speaker of the Kogi State House of Assembly, Honorable Momo Jimo, has resigned. In his place, Honorable Umar Ahmed Imam takes over as Speaker of the State House of Assembly. His resignation letter was read on the floor of the House by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Ali Ako, who said the Speaker's decision is in the best interest of the state. The crisis in the House has lingered since February 2016, resulting in the emergence of two factions of the Assembly. Former chairman of House Committee on Appropriation Abdulmumun Jibrin has released more details of alleged budget padding by Speaker of the House Yakubu Dogara and other lawmakers. In a statement issued, Jibrin alleged that Dogara and some other principal officers of the House of Reps hijacked the budget consideration process so as to pad it. He also accused Dogara of collecting bribes from administrators of government agencies and multinational firms operating in the country. The revelations, which are the latest in a series of similar ones from Jibrin in recent days, mark strong indications that the fallout from the budget padding scandal may be far from over. Meanwhile, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has called for an investigation of the lawmaker alleged to be involved in the budget padding scandal. The former president made his position known to journalists after meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, who he visited to advise to be careful about with the lawmakers. Obasanjo said that the allegation bolstered his statement that the National Assembly is made up of a bunch of corrupt lawmakers. Senate President Bukola Saraki has set up two committees to reform the country's national budgeting process. In a statement issued by the Office of the Senate President, the committees are charged with closing the structural gaps that limit transparency and accountability in the budget process and fiscal discipline. The committees are also to design a legislative framework that provides for effective supervision of budget accounts. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the NNPC to intensify oil search in the northeast part of the country. In a statement by Garbadin Muhammad, the NNPC spokesman, the corporation said it was stepping up measures to ensure a successful operation in the ongoing search for crude oil in the Chad Basin and other parts of the inland basin. This, he said, is in line with the president's order for deeper inquest into the prospects of some neglected finds in some areas in the northeastern part of Nigeria. The Islamic movement in Nigeria said its leader Ibrahim El-Zakzaki and his wife Zainatuddin, currently in the custody of the DSS in Abuja, are suffering from life-threatening injuries. The chairman of the Resource Forum of the sect, Abdullahi Danladi, raised the alarm while addressing journalists in Kaduna State. Danladi said apart from the life-threatening gunshot injuries sustained by El-Zakzaki, his blood pressure was almost spiraling out of control and might result in death if not urgently attended to. Zakzaki was arrested by the DSS after the deadly clash between the Shiite group, which he leads, and the Nigerian army in Zaria last year. The Shiite leader is being charged with criminal conspiracy, inciting public disturbances, among others. Indonesia says it plans to execute several people on Friday as part of its campaign against drug trafficking. Officials in the country had earlier this month confirmed that 16 people will be executed this year, including citizens of Nigeria, Zimbabwe and Pakistan, though they have not released any more details. It's still not clear if the Nigerian convicts will be among those executed on Friday. The announcement comes after a brief hiatus since last year's controversial executions of mostly foreign convicts in Indonesia. Time for a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at business and international stories. Don't go away.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. Two of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so...
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no, you don't need to do this. We're only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Okay, which came up with this one? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. You're watching TV360 News now. To business stories. The Central Bank of Nigeria has raised its benchmark interest rate by a surprise 200 basis points to 14%. The new benchmark was announced on Tuesday. The Apex Bank has, however, maintained its existing cash reserve ratios for commercial banks in a bid to stabilize the Nigerian currency. By this increase, the cost of funds to this banking system from the CBN will now increase, leading to a rise in lending rates from commercial banks to businesses. In March this year, CBN's Monetary Policy Committee announced an increase of the monetary policy rate by 100 basis points from 11% to 12%. Now, before CBN's latest increase, TV360 spoke to a business analyst who explained the increase, the reason behind the increase of the benchmark.
Of course, it will jack up the interest rate for virtually all the set of economy, small scale, medium scale, large scale, and whether you like it or not, that will equally exacerbate the rate of inflation in the economy. And when you have that kind of compounding situation, then what you are saying is that the economy be stagnated and be worsening the recession that the economy is experiencing for now. What they are trying to do is probably forced the interest rate, probably forced the inflationary rate to the interest rate, probably at the same rate. But when you look at it, what is the margin? The margin is just 2%. Over years, if you watch it over years, in the last decade, inflation rate in Nigeria have been a single digit. And I think it went to double digits some 2 years ago, and the government have been trying to reduce, to make it the way it has been. Now it's now double digit, and that double digit before you realize it, you'll be going to say 17, going to 18, go to 19, go to 20. But I think what CBN has done now is probably a technical way, more strategic way of probably reducing that inflation rate to 14.5%. We pray that it will work out the way they desire it.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has ordered banks to publish details of all foreign exchange transactions on the Foreign Financial Market Dealers Court platform. Announcing the directive of the CBN in an email to foreign exchange dealers, Managing Director of FMDQ Bola Onadele said banks should update all trades irrespective of the exchange rate. Nigeria has struggled to attract foreign money into its bond and equity markets since devaluing the naira by 30% on June 20th, ending a 16-month peg of 197 per dollar. With investors concerned, the CBN was still controlling the exchange rate. FMDQ started operations in 2013 and is being chaired by Sarah Alade, who is the Deputy Governor of the CBN. Oil prices rebounded from over 3-month lows on Tuesday, lifted by a drop in the dollar. International Brent crude oil futures were trading at $44.93 per barrel, while U.S. crude was at $43.23 per barrel. Despite the slightly higher oil prices, analysts say the overall mood in oil markets had turned bearish. At least 13 people have been killed after suicide bombers attacked the African Union's main peacekeeping base in Somalia. The attacks were carried out on Tuesday by 2 men who tried to blast their way into the base. Police said the first attacker detonated a car bomb, while the second one tried to storm the base on foot, but was shot and exploded at the gate. Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for the attack. The group has been fighting to topple Somalia's Western-backed government. South Sudan President Salva Kiir has sworn in opposition leader Taban Deng as his vice president to replace Riek Machar. Kiir removed Machar as first vice president of the country 2 weeks after the rival leaders' forces clashed in the capital of Juba. Machar has not been seen since the clashes, which left at least 300 people dead and many more injured. It also threatened to revive a civil war that has killed tens of thousands of South Sudan indigents. The replacement was criticized by Machar's supporters, but others in his party support it. Observers say the move may further complicate an already tense political situation in South Sudan. An appeal court in Jos has set aside the judgment of a lower court relisting Chris Giwa's case against Amaju Pinnick, led body of the NFF. Nigeria's football was divided in two factions following a federal high court order which sacked Pinnick as NFF president. The Pinnick-led board, however, appealed the judgment. In a fresh judgment, Justice Joseph True of the appeal court in Jos held that the withdrawal of the cases on October 30, 2014, which was affirmed by the court, still stands. The court also rewarded 50,000 naira damages against the respondents. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has announced that 40 teams will feature at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Infantino disclosed this in a media chat following an under-13 exhibition match between FCT and Enugu at the National Stadium in Abuja. The FIFA boss is currently on a 2-day official visit to Nigeria. The 46-year-old assured that Africa will get no fewer than 2 of the 8 fresh slots in the proposed expanded World Cup event. The International Canoe Federation has banned 5 Russian athletes from competing at next month's Rio 2016 Olympic Games. The news comes as a huge blow to a country which just narrowly avoided a complete Olympic ban after a World Anti-Doping Agency report accused the country of widespread state-sponsored doping. The International Olympics Committee had opted against a complete ban on Russia, deciding to leave the decision to individual sporting bodies. The International Tennis Federation cleared Russian players, but Swimming Federation FINA banned 7 Russians, and now the ICF has issued its own ban. In a statement, the ICF said the 5 Russians were banned because they were mentioned in the new WADA report. That's it on News Now. We thank you very much for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.